Hi, I've had a really serious day in the workshop today. I had to get to grips with this jolly unfinished dollhouse. It's a Beacon Hill house and I have to face up to reality and just get it sorted. The main problem was when I got up to the third floor 17 years ago, it went crooked and I didn't have the experience to fix it. So I put it in the corner of the workshop and I tried to pretend it wasn't there. But this series of videos has forced me to contemplate finishing this house. And so to that end, I have reinforced a little bit across the front with another piece of timber. And to make these rooms square, I've mited a frame. This is just temporary to give me the width, but it's going to fit in each room. And it's going to, by the time I get to the third floor, it's going to be really square. This wall had to have a serious adjustment. I adjusted it so seriously I cut myself while I was doing it. But it's done now. And so I'll work my way up. But when I had a look at the roof and I was putting this on, I came across a problem. And I think that this is what put me off in the first place. The tower didn't line up with the slots in the floor. And when I went online, there was a fellow doing a series of videos on Beacon Hill houses and how to do this and that, and he had the same problem with the tower, and he had to cut things and he had to shape tabs. Well, once I actually removed a piece off this and I didn't have to slot it into this wall, all the other tabs fitted perfectly. So it was the middle part that needed adjusting. So if anybody is doing one of these, they have to have that in mind when they're doing it. Now when I got up to the top, I had a revelation. Now, if you are a genuine Beacon Hill enthusiast, you mustn't watch the rest of this video. The content could be disturbing because I have modified this and I'll continue to modify this house. The first modification was when I made the kitchen bigger and put an addition on the side. And then the second one will be a double floor conservatory on the side with Amelia's dressing room up the top, because when I did the little staircase for Amelia and I was worrying about where it went, and somebody said I shouldn't worry about it, but I do, I decided she had nowhere to put her clothes. So this will be her dressing room, and then there'll be a double floor conservatory with a lot of exotic birds in it. And I'm looking forward to doing that because I like making birds. And you should have fun watching me if I'm going to let you do it. So there we go. That's the second modification. The third modification is going to be a bigger room on the top of the floor, top floor. I realised my owner of the house was a collector, and he'd just been given a marvellous, I have to say, 12 scale Egyptian collection of pottery, which is quite old. I think it came from the 1920s. And this is out of his... Don't tell him about the year because it's not his year, but I'm going to put it in this top room with his Egyptian collection. And so this room has to be bigger. And he'll access it from his sort of bedroom and go up the stairs into the top. And then we'll spread out a little bit. So that's something to look forward to. Now I want to show you the front of the house. Now this is a really interesting paint job, I'm sure you'd agree. I've seen a lot of Beacon Hill houses on the internet that I think are gorgeous, that are in pastel colours. But this one I had determined was going to be a shabby old dollhouse that somebody discarded in a corner of a room. And it was going to look rather battered, and the gold leaf had started to peel off. Now this is gold leaf. I've put it on all the window frames and some of the decorative bits. And so looking at it now, I think, no, I'll just keep it like it is. I'll continue the colour scheme because it is a steampunk house, and so it's allowed to be different. And it's certainly going to be a little bit different with its additions. And I'm hoping when I've got those additions done that it's all going to look balanced. That's the big problem, is keeping everything nice and balanced. So that's my design dilemma, and I shall work on that. And just a little final report on Sam's clothing. His outfit is almost finished, so he'll be able to call on Amelia very shortly.